Just got my EG4 inverter mounted, as well as the AC input in the upper left and the AC output in the lower right. There's going to be a 60 amp breaker feeding AC power into the EG4 inverter for bypass mode and grid charging. Eventually I'll put a second EG4 up over there to have 240 volt service. And then from that panel we're going to have power feeding across my my basement here over to my main panel. There'll be two sets of 4-gauge wires coming out of this panel and going over into either the upper panel for the AC input or to the lower panel for the AC output from the inverter. I'm also going to be mounting a critical loads panel and a transfer switch next to the main panel here so that I can flip back and forth from the grid anytime I feel like it, or if I need to do any kind of work on the system over here. So this is my first step. It is mounted on plywood that is screwed into the concrete, and then I have crete board installed over the top of that, because per the manufacturer you should have a non-combustible surface behind the inverters in case of some kind of failure. Just finished my first experience with 4-gauge wire, and I'm not really enjoying the experience so far. That stuff is difficult to bend, but I do have both the AC input and output wired in using liquid tight conduit. Up there is the breaker box for the input from the grid, and down there is the main panel for the inverter. And then of course now I need to run wire all the way up along here through conduit and over to the main panel to supply the actual feed panel for the inverters over here, and that's even more 4-gauge wire. So that should be fun.